Actor Val Kilmer is best known for his roles in hit films like Top Gun, The Doors, Tombstone, Wonderland, and Alexander. As of 2022, he's got an estimated net worth of $25 million. So there's no denying his success, but just like everyone else, he's had to deal with plenty of things completely outside his realm of control. In the last several years, he's been plagued by serious health concerns. As a result, he's lost his natural speaking voice. Fortunately, however, advances in technology have recently given Kilmer something of a second chance in life. 50 years ago, he would have been destined to spend the remainder of his life struggling to express himself, and his acting career would most assuredly have been over. Join Facts First as we discover how Val Kilmer finally got his voice back and what this might mean for his future career prospects. How Kilmer lost his voice. For a movie star, there's nothing worse that could happen than losing their voice. Many actors and actresses' voices end up being their bread and butter. Val Kilmer shocked the world in 2017 when he announced he'd been diagnosed with throat cancer. He had previously denied persistent rumors that he had been in ill health, but at that point, there was nothing else he could do but be honest with his fans. In 2015, he'd been hospitalized for what his reps said were tests for a possible tumor. He later took to social media to say he did not have a tumor, nor did he need any kind of operation. While in retrospect, it looks pretty likely he was indeed aware of what he was dealing with at the time, no one can blame the guy for wanting to keep his private medical details out of the spotlight. In December of 2017, it was reported Kilmer had gone through a long, 2-year battle with throat cancer, and that he had to have a procedure done on his trachea that ended up reducing his voice to little more than a rasp. We further learned he had to undergo chemotherapy and 2 tracheotomies. Kilmer now has to plug a stoma in his trachea to speak. In 2020, Kilmer gave us all some very good news when he announced he'd been cancer-free for 4 years. While that was certainly great news, he also revealed he was no longer able to eat and had to use a feeding tube to nourish himself. In 2020, Kilmer published his book, I'm Your Huckleberry, a memoir, which detailed some of his ordeal in addition to various musings about his life and upbringing. The following year, the documentary Val was released, which covered his life, making use of never-before-seen archival footage he filmed himself. In that critically acclaimed film, we got a chance to listen to what Kilmer's voice sounded like post-cancer. To hear his raspy, strained speech, especially when compared to his vocal delivery in his previous films, was painful. It was clear Kilmer would never be able to accomplish what he had in his younger years before he was stricken with throat cancer, or at least that's what we all thought. Before we tell you more about Val's voice, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Technology for the win. It's times like these that confirm we're definitely living in the future. With the help of a UK-based software firm, Sonantic, Val Kilmer can now speak once again with the voice we know and love. Sonantic uses AI to clone voices. Advances in machine learning technologies have done what many thought was impossible just a few years ago. The company released a brief clip with their initial results in August of 2021. In the clip, Kilmer was seen speaking with the AI computer-assisted voice. He explained that his voice as he knew it was taken from him, which led the people around him to struggle to understand him. He went on to express how frustrating that had been, especially since he still felt like the same person he's always been. He then explained how he was now able to express himself again. He could bring the creative ideas that were swirling around in his mind to those willing to listen while showing them a part of himself again that was, as he put it, never truly gone, but rather just hiding away. Kilmer played an active role in the development of the AI prototype. He worked closely with Sonantic to provide archive recordings of his voice to create the model. In a statement he shared with the media outlet The Wrap, Kilmer expressed his gratitude to the entire team of Sonantic, who were able to masterfully restore his voice in a way he never thought possible. Val continued by saying the chance to narrate his story in a voice that felt both authentic and familiar was an incredibly special gift. Sonantic's AI recreation of Val's voice came shortly after the documentary film Val was released. While his new voice wasn't featured in the documentary, it's now fully conceivable that the actor will be able to make use of the AI voice on both a personal and professional level however he pleases. A new lease on life. Many people diagnosed with throat cancer end up dying from the disease. And still yet, those who manage to pull through end up losing many of the quality of life features they probably once took for granted. Now that Kilmer has beaten the odds and overcome cancer, he's not going to take anything for granted. In the blink of an eye, life can change in ways we can't possibly anticipate. Losing one's voice is just one of the many terrible things that can happen to us when we least expect it. But now that Kilmer has been given his voice back and his throat cancer is in the rearview mirror, he wants to count his blessings and use his experiences to better the lives of others. In a tweet posted in March of 2022, Kilmer shared he's starting an artistic community he's calling Camp Kilmer. In the tweet, Val stated he'd always been an artist of various mediums for more than half a century, and that after surviving cancer, he feels reinvigorated to express his creative spirit. He now wants to share that spirit with others. After finding a large studio in Hollywood, he's devoted himself to creating a space where artists, musicians, muses, and collectors can gather to celebrate creativity. While the pandemic temporarily stifled his plans for his new community, he believes he'll still prevail with his plans. Kilmer went on to say he'd been dreaming of creating such a space since back when he was living in the wilderness in New Mexico. Val wants Camp Kilmer to be a destination where creative minds can convene to express themselves in innovative and exciting ways while contributing to the evolution of arts through connectivity and technology. He says those interested in joining his community can reach out to him through Discord. Kilmer found solace through art, and so can you. After battling throat cancer and losing his voice, Kilmer found solace and comfort in art. As a veteran actor, Val knows just how powerful and healing art can be. In addition to receiving treatment, Val firmly believes one of the best things cancer patients can do is tap into their passions and talents. Some may choose to do this through creative outlets like singing, dancing, crafting, or painting, but regardless of what those outlets are, they can be remarkably therapeutic and even healing. Art can help people come to grips with feelings of grief after suffering a cancer-related loss. This is true for people both living with cancer as well as their loved ones. Not only does art offer a degree of physical healing power, it's also extraordinarily beneficial for people's mental health. This has been well documented and proven by countless medical studies. One such study, published in the Journal of the American Art Therapy Association in 2016, suggests that as little as 1 hour of creative activity can drastically reduce stress and result in a positive effect on one's mental health. This is true regardless of your talent or experience level. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite Val Kilmer role of all time? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.